She's looking.
She's
looking.
Oh my God. This is cute.
Oh,
Hi,
it's
friends.
sliding. What I'm talking about is my facial mask. If you watch us on YouTube, hello.
Hi.
And this will be obviously made into many reels because we look ridiculous.
We got inspired. Well, first off, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Liz.
Welcome to whichever Total Betty podcast you're listening to.
You know,
Thanks
all
so
of them.
much.
Thank you.
We were away for Epics and Chill and we did face masks and we are like, we need to record ourselves talking with these on because it's just so funny.
Is because we both put them on and the ones that Michelle had brought were so opaque that like you couldn't see any of our features and we were just peeing our pants. The one I have on right now is a gel and it keeps sliding.
Yeah.
It looks like I look like our We Are Liars cover art.
You do.
And
you really,
look
really
like Jason.
I do. I do. But this is an Ask Me Anything, Ask Us Anything.
Yeah, Ask the Bettys
episode. So we gathered questions y'all provided. We're going to spin the wheel and we're going to answer them at random. You ready?
I'm excited.
Me too.
And I love it because your wheel is adorable.
Thank you so much. Okay. You ready, Liz?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. This is very fitting. What kind of noodles are you?
Oh, what kind of noodles? So I felt, and I still feel this way, as though I am penne with vodka sauce because penne is like the classic noodle, but she's not basic. Spaghetti is basic, as Melissa Ponzio would tell me. Spaghetti is basic, but it's just a good shape. It holds the sauce. It holds whatever it needs to. She's supportive. And the vodka sauce, because like a little alcohol, a little cream, a little tomato, like that is me. I'm a melting pot. My favorite pasta, however, is angel hair with like a lemon sauce. Red lentil noodle, you?
Yeah, so I would be a red lentil noodle or a chickpea noodle.
Also a good one.
I don't have a certain, shape, but I do love a gemelli shape because those are so fun, the spiral.
So fun.
And I would just be a classic marinara.
Marinara.
And a red lentil noodle. I'm a little different.
Yeah.
Everyone loves marinara. If you have a good one.
Oh, if you don't have a good marinara,
you're nothing.
That's it.
And I'm a good one.
Yeah. Do you guys call it gravy? Do you call it gravy? Do you call it sauce? Where we're from, we call it sauce, but however, neither of us are Italian, so maybe you would call it gravy. My future mother-in-law doesn't call it gravy. She calls it sauce. And she's Italian.
Yeah, and my Italian side family, aka Anne's family, does not call it gravy.
No, they call it sauce. I think gravy is a Jersey thing.
I think so too.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. All right. Next question. Here, Liz, you can read the next one.
Your top 5 movies. This is going to be a hard one. Michelle doesn't watch movies. However, you have like nostalgic movies.
I have my top 5. Do you have your top 5?
I can rattle off a few.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Just Friends. Clueless, obviously. I also love Now and Then. I also love Little Women, the Winona Ryder Little Women. That's a great one.
Best one, 94.
Aladdin, the cartoon. Is that 5?
I wasn't counting.
But those are ones I could probably watch over and over and over again and still love every minute. Mean Girls, also another classic.
So I have movies I could watch over and over, but they're not on my like top 5. But top 5 for me: Clueless, Harvey, Little Women, 1994, My Neighbor Totoro.
Yes.
Back to the Future, the first one.
Good choices.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Yeah.
You guys let us know your top 5 movies.
Yes.
Because I'm curious.
Me too. All right. Next question.
It's a little slow to advance.
Any future plans on doing Degrassi or 90210?
Never say never. I have seen Degrassi and the original 90210. I have never seen the reboot 90210. You did watch a little bit of that?
Yeah, a couple episodes.
So you never know. We could jot it down at some point.
Yeah. Never say never.
Never say never. I'm not opposed to any content here on. As you know, I was opposed to one show, and guess what? We're doing a podcast about it. So there you go.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'm like,
I know we're falling here.
It's just under the nose.
I'm dripping underneath the chin.
No.
The neck is going to be super super,
Toy.
dare I say it, moist.
Moist. Michelle hates the word moist.
I hate it. Go ahead, spin the wheel.
Oh. Top 5 favorite shows.
Oh,
I think we've done this before.
We have. We did a whole episode.
We did
on it.
top 10, but in mine were Friends. Now of course I can't think of anything else. Schitt's Creek, The Haunting of Hill House. That was 3. This is just off my memory. Oh, I have it on my phone. Hold on. Oh, I have it. Friends, How I Met Your Mother, The Haunting of Hill House, Schitt's Creek, Are You the One, Roswell the Original.
Are you reading all 10?
Yes, Gilmore Girls,
Oh, shit.
The Good Place, which I feel like that should go, and Growing Pains, and One Tree Hill.
Okay.
Weird.
I'm not naming my top 10.
Okay, well, you don't have your list. I happen to have my list on my phone.
I'm just going to name 5. The OC, Sopranos, Schitt's Creek, Friends, and Gilmore Girls.
Great choices.
And that's as we get past 1 and 2, there's no particular order.
There's no order.
But I feel like every year you should revisit that because I feel like I have to add Friday Night Lights to that.
Such a great show.
And Lost is on that
I
list.
feel like I could make some addendums on here.
Yeah.
For sure. And when did we do this? Was it last year?
Summer we did that.
We must have because we always have our summer programming, hence this episode.
Right.
While we take breaks before our new seasons. But yeah, I would revisit and I would do that again.
Yeah. We should do that like once a quarter. Or like once a year maybe.
Yeah. My nail keeps smelling like onion. We just
Uh-oh.
Every time I push my mask up, I smell the onion. I'm like, not pleasant.
Not pleasant. If Friday Night Lights were made in 2022, at least one of the teen characters would be LGBTQ. Who would it be?
I have thought about this.
Okay.
I thought about this today because we did review the questions.
I didn't review.
Oh, I reviewed the questions as I was putting them on the drive. I felt as though Landry.
Okay.
My reasoning is because at first he is the side character, very much becomes a main player in season 2. I feel like he would be, especially Jesse Plemons as an actor, wonderful to handle any type of situation that comes about, especially such an important one like that. And I feel like we could have swung him either way.
I love that.
What about you?
For me, it's Tyra. I think it would have been really fun to explore that for her.
Yeah.
And I could see the actress, Adrienne, really portraying that.
She would have been great.
In a beautiful way.
Can you give me like a spoil? Like, do we get any LGBTQ characters at all?
I don't remember.
Well, that means like if you don't remember, then it's probably no.
No, that doesn't mean anything. My memory is shot when it comes to...
I hope we get some representation.
Yeah. It'd be awful if I'm forgetting it. But like, again, please don't come at me. I absorb content and it goes so fast. It goes so fast. I have to watch something like over and over and over and over and over and over again to really, really stick.
Noodle scoos.
Noodle scoos.
It's a problem.
Exactly.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider covering movies as bonus episodes? Absolutely. Why not?
Also, funny enough, a new podcast will be coming. I'm joining my friend Seth, and it's going to be all about movies.
What?
Yes. And
how ironic.
I know. And it's in production. By the end of this year, we're going to start. But this all came about because he loves movies and I never watch movies. So he's going to give me a movie to watch. I'm going to watch it and then we're going to discuss it.
I love that.
And it's really funny. Our Twitter bios, which he brought up, his caption is like, I've seen the movie and I probably don't like it.
And yours is,
chances are I haven't seen the movie. So it's kind of perfect. So be on the lookout for that.
I love that. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Seth is a great time.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know, he was on our podcast a long time ago.
What was he on for?
R.I.P.
Oh, IT3. Yeah, and then he was on my dream podcast too.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Seth is a great guest.
And was he on the Mitch Ruby show?
He was on the Mitch Ruby show.
Yeah.
Not commercial combo, but
no, I remember him on the Mitch Ruby show. Though.
Yeah.
He's a great personality, and y'all better check it out because he'll be hysterical.
Yeah, and plus he'll join us on Pretty Little Liars.
Yes, he will because he loves that show. One of our friends that told us to watch it to do a podcast.
Actually, a friend of mine today, Casey, texted me and she goes, "Where's episode 2?"
Bitch, you better hold.
And
Please
I said,
hold.
October, it's coming. Okay.
Yay.
What is your note-taking process and how do you prepare for the podcast?
I love this question. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
asking. My process, especially when we were doing Three Gossip Girls, was I would watch the episode as a whole. Then I actually would go on the wiki because Gossip Girls wiki page was really good for information. So I would skim through most of that, add what I wanted, stuff maybe I didn't comprehend or that I forgot about, and then I'd watch it again to get my MVP shittiest fashion moments, quotes, and then most likely I would watch it again with Michelle if it was a Discord night. And I separate my notes as, the intro, who we, the drill. If you listen to our episodes, we do the intro, we do the air date and the producer and the director, and we go into a summary. And then the format, depending on the show, is a little loose or it's very tight, and we break and we do our segments. But it's usually a weekly process. And then I'll prepare my notes for the week after, especially if I had to get my gossip words. And then this time around, I'll get my secret from Michelle for We Are Liars. But I would usually have to. My mask just keeps sliding down into my mouth.
Sorry.
I would get those words or my guess, my secret, and then I'd watch the episode all over again the next week. Right. So it's like I've seen this show so many times, but I've seen each episode like 4 times in total. It's a lot of times to see a show.
Yeah. So when I'm with the shows that I'm the show running, right? So like listed Gossip Girls and We Are Liars, and I did Let's Talk OC and currently Talking Text Forever. There are no notes on those shows. The wiki pages do not exist.
No, they're awful.
So, which is fine. I watch the episode and I usually take notes as I watch and I break it into kind of bullet points.
Yeah.
Then I'll rewatch the episode and fill in.
Yes.
Get my MVP. We have the same format. You guys know. We pretty much have the same format of shows. But then when I watch with Liss, then again, if I have to add in something, but usually it's me like taking the notes as the show and I will pause it. Yeah. Grab snippets. Mm-hmm. Always watch with captions though.
Always. Captions are a must. Michelle and I actually don't watch television without captions now.
I don't know how people do. It's like I can't hear it.
Randy's like, "Can we not watch with captions?" I'm like, "Wait, why?
No.
What's wrong with the captions?" He thinks that they're distracting. And I'm like, "Well, they're just there in case you miss something."
Right.
Would you ever do a random subject type podcast again?
No.
No. I need a subject.
This is it.
This is our podcast. Michelle and I thrive on subjects. So if it's a television show, if it's a movie, if whatever it is, we need the subject. We can't just from our brains create something and think that's going to work because it didn't.
It didn't.
It didn't work.
That's why it doesn't exist.
That's why she is gone forever.
And thank God she is. That's all I have to say about that.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Let's never talk about that again.
Yeah, please. Who is your favorite TV character of all time?
So I feel like Michelle and I are going to do a bonus episode on this, right? At some point.
Yeah, because it's like picking a favorite child.
It's too hard to pick a child. If I had to pick, I can give you my favorite character from each show so far.
All right.
Should I try that?
Sure.
So my favorite character in One Tree Hill was Mouth. Brooke, very close second. My favorite character in the OC was Marissa Duh. My favorite character on Gossip Girl, I think, was, Dorota, but Blair. My favorite character on Friday Night Lights is Tyra. Landry, really, really close second. And We Are Liars, Pretty Little Liars. It's really hard to say right now, but Emily, because I gave her my MVP.
Yikes. One Tree Hill, Peyton.
Yeah.
OC, Marissa.
Mm-hmm.
Gossip Girl, Blair. But we love Dorota too.
Yeah.
Like you said. And Friday Night Lights right now, Tammy.
Love yeah, Tammy's so great. It's hard to choose.
And then, we have to do like our hotties and then our crushes and that's a hard question.
It's a very involved question because we could do in so many subcategories.
I know.
Which we'll do. We'll eventually do that.
It looks like a condom.
It does. Ew. Sorry, it just slid right off. I'm gonna just put that on the paper towel. So I'll just be a half a face. It's actually easier to talk like
Yeah,
this.
no, that's nice that you have that.
Did I pick this? No, it just landed on that,
You have
right?
to spin.
What are your guilty pleasures? I have to say, I don't feel guilt about anything I do.
We talked about this. There are no guilty pleasures.
There's nothing guilty. If I do something that maybe I can give you something maybe that other people might not do. And I know we've talked about like when I have my food, I need to find a program. Now it's not, I've come to another level where I have to be sitting on the couch having my food and I have to put on something that has to do with food. What is the psychology behind this? My favorite is shout out to the channel React. They do try not to eat challenges and they're so funny because they theme it towards shows and movies. So they've done Friends, they've done they most recently they done Gilmore Girls. I haven't watched it yet. But so the people are shown and presented food recreated from the show or movie. A world-renowned chef recreates these meals. And so these people are fans and they're like they can't eat it. If they eat it, then they get a punishment at the end.
Why can't they eat it?
It's a try not to eat challenge. So you have to try not to eat it. And the premise is you're so in love with this show or you're so fascinated by what this might taste like that you want to try it. And they always bring these people hungry too. They're always like, oh, I'm starving. And so it's try not to eat. One of my favorites is try not to eat stoner movies, and all these people had to come high, and then they couldn't eat. And I was like, this is the best shit, the best one. If you haven't watched it, go watch that episode because that was so good. And so they have to try not to eat these things. And people, obviously, there's never been one that everyone has not tried something. And so there's punishments at the end. So in Friends, the punishment was you had to eat the trifle.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what the Gilmore Girls punishment was, but the Stoners one, they had to eat 5 saltine crackers with cotton mouth. I was like, this is the best. So I highly recommend. So that is a weird thing I do. I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure, but Randy comes in, he's like, oh, she's doing that thing again.
I would just say that's a quirk.
It's a quirk, right?
That's not a guilty pleasure.
Right.
With this show, as you were like explaining it, I'm trying to think if I'd ever go on something like this. And I feel like
these people are
the premise, so
yes, but they work for this company and they don't know when they're going into work what thing they have to do. This channel, it's by the Fine Brothers. They do like
YouTube.
It's YouTube. The React, yes, the React channel. So all these people come in, they show up to work, they have no idea what they're going to be doing that day, and so it happens to be okay. It's the try not to eat challenge day. I'm sure they record a bunch of different episodes in a day. And so they're like, damn it. Or like they're excited. And one woman, Sharon, she's hysterical. She brings her own Tupperware every episode. So she takes a bite. She doesn't care what the punishment is. She takes a bite. She puts the rest in her Tupperware because she's ate it. That means nobody else can eat it. So she gets to take it home.
Wow.
And she does the punishment like every single time. It's hysterical. I love it. I really do love it.
No, that's
and I've gotten to know like the personalities of like most of the people that are on these shows. Yeah. So if you're a fan of Try Not to Eat or the React channel, DM me because that would be fun.
Yeah, no, I'll have to check that out. I'm like, what is this on? And then when you said YouTube, I'm like, haha, that's why I don't know it. I don't know.
Well, that's like basically the only YouTube thing that I watch now. I don't really watch anything on YouTube anymore. It's been like really lackluster for me over there.
Yeah.
What would you say a guilty or a non-guilty pleasure?
I have no idea. I feel like I own everything I do.
Same. Like, there's nothing I'm like embarrassed to tell you I did.
I am such an open book. You meet me, I feel like you know me.
Yeah. I mean, like we both you love like Married at First Sight, like that reality TV show. No, but like one would say it is, but I don't feel it's guilty watching it.
No. This is like my mask is coming off. I'm trying to think of something like real weird that people will be like, that's weird that Michelle does. But it would just be like, that's her.
Right.
There's nothing
right. It's not like a guilty pleasure.
I'm trying to even think of like a weird quirk I do.
No. You just make your food combinations, but that's like a quirk.
I mean,
she likes mixing different flavors together and different textures.
I never like really eat cereal anymore, but when we were away with friends, I was asking them if you ever mixed different cereals together. No one did that in our group. I was like, what is wrong? They're like, it's genius.
Always. I mean, it has to be from like a semi-similar palette. You can't like mix like Cinnamon Toast Crunch with like Well, actually, you could probably mix that with a lot of things.
Yeah.
But you can't do like a fruity with a chocolatey with a that
It'd be
might be
weird.
weird. But
Weird.
like basic cereals, absolutely.
I know.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
I know.
Come on.
It's like, guys.
And then your milk gets flavored.
Oh, the best.
And then I would have to add more cereal because there's still milk.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's a good question, though. And if I think of a guilty pleasure, I'll think of it. Okay. Are there shows you wished you would have watched when it aired? Yes, Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars. For sure. I would have loved that.
Wouldn't that have been great?
I was gonna say like the shows that we podcasted about, One Tree Hill and the OC, but now I feel like no, I'm gonna take that back because then I wouldn't have this journey.
True.
So while I didn't have that like 2000s, early 2000s teen drama growing up, Veronica Mars probably would have been it. I think I would have loved that. And I don't consider that like a teen drama.
No, I mean any show.
But
I think this applies to any
yeah,
show.
no, right. Yeah, that's a great question. And that's a great answer that you said. I'm trying to think of anything. I kind of wish I watched Lost because I still haven't watched that.
I'm supposed to be rewatching that actually. Oh my god, you just reminded me. Like I made a
Is it like a self goal? Or this is like a goal with someone?
My friend Dana and I, we said September 1st we were going to start rewatching Lost.
I bet you she didn't either.
Well, yeah, we were going to text each other.
Well, obviously she didn't then.
Yeah, I'll have to get on that. Liss and I have also been watching Desperate Housewives.
Which is so good.
Yeah. This Desperate Housewives came out in 2004.
Yeah.
And I don't
so
think
did Veronica Mars.
Right. And I don't think at the time Desperate Housewives was in our demographic.
We were not the demo.
Yeah.
My mom was the demo.
Right.
Well, I feel like most people that age were the demo, but I did casually watch it with my mom.
Right.
And I just like never kind of continued watching it. I would watch it here and there when she was watching it, but like I never religiously watched it.
Right.
I didn't care. And now I'm like, damn it, I wish I cared because I would have loved to watch that.
Can you imagine though if I took a break from the OC and watched One Tree Hill when it was on, and imagine watching those episodes as they were on?
No.
Like the whole Dan and the heart situation and Leighton Lee.
I mean, Ingy was spoilers, like, it's a ride. And we didn't realize how much so.
But like you said, I don't regret that.
No, and like as a viewer and as a loyal fan for 9 years, she watched that show and she loved it. And like I didn't have that show growing up. I mean, I did. I had like My Growing Pains or like Saved by the Bell. But I can't think of like a show that truly impacted me like the OC did for you.
Yeah.
And obviously like One Tree Hill for Ingrid. So
before we move on, one more question, and this is for our listeners, and please send your answer. One Tree Hill was on for 9 seasons, and like 7 and 8 were not great. We can all agree. Was there a point if you were watching in live time that you gave up?
Right. Did you stop and then come back?
Yes. That's what I want to know.
I feel like in our journey, and like those of you who like religiously listen to Tree Hill Talk, did Ingrid say that she took a pause?
I don't remember.
I feel like she might have.
Mike, let us know.
Let us know. I feel like she might have said like, yeah, I kind of stopped watching, then I revisited.
Okay.
I could be making that up. We'll have to ask her.
But I'm really curious. And if you sent this in Tree Hill Talk, I don't remember, so just send it to me again.
Yeah, send it again because it was like 5 years ago.
Oh my god, long fucking time ago.
All right,
spinning again.
We're like the drama queens.
We are like the drama queens.
What is the story behind the pasta noodle question?
Oh, how much time do we have?
As much time as
you
we
want. Like the too long didn't read version, or
yeah, too long didn't read. I'm curious. It's been a while since I've heard the story. Okay. Well, I know the basis, so let's go into it.
Because like I was telling Aunt, we were like going down the origins of Michelle,
like memory lane,
and like loving radio and loving audio, and then how that like really progressed through since I was a wee little child.
Yeah, look at where you are now.
I know, but the noodle question, I think, truly started late teens, early 20s when I kid you not, I looked at my cat and I said, what kind of noodle would you be? And then I would ask my friends what kind of noodles their pets would be, what kind of pastry products, what kind of
Yeah,
bread.
it's all surrounding food.
It was always food. And then that kind of went to my friends. And then we brought on to the Wondry Hill people. And then I would do it to TV characters just for fun.
Do you remember you used to make stuff out of fruit?
I do.
I had a little clementine with a crown on it, and he was my Prince Charming. It was like for my birthday. I think I was like 21.
Yeah. Aunt and I used to take fruit and I would put googly eyes on them and make little hats and dresses for them. And that's
They're
what I would
very
give
cute.
people for their birthdays.
Yeah, so that's how the noodle started. Just kind of like, oh, what kind of noodle would you be? And then
Yeah,
we just
that's the short answer of it.
And we asked that question to all the cast because it's a non-descriptive, non-personal question. It's
That's
kind
right.
of just like whatever you feel you are.
Yep.
Hopefully you have an answer you're happy with, and that's it. Just walk away.
In high school, I used to ask random people in the mall what they thought about different words.
Oh, like what word?
Like,
For
what do you think
example?
about the word technically? What do you think about the word definitely? What do you think about a ho hum boink, which became my screen name? Do you remember in 5th grade, I used to pretend I was a newscaster and it was called School Bus News?
Yes.
Because I interviewed you.
Oh man, I wish we had this on tape.
I know. School Bus News.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. If you were not did we? No. Okay. If you were not constrained by the established format of your podcast, what shows would you like to cover?
We're not restrained to anything, but I understand the premise of the question.
Does that mean
not
teen
a teen
drama?
drama.
Okay.
So I feel we would totally rock some like reality TV.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Give me some Married at First Sight. Give me some Are You the One? Like the AfterBuzz. Buzz, Maria Menounos, the Queen. They had a podcast after each week, but then at the finale when Are You the One was over, I remember them like interviewing the cast. I was like, damn, I would love to do that. I would love to just like meet these people that I've watched for 10 weeks and get their real side of the story and, get the tea. I would love that. Yeah. I think we would be really good at that.
It would be fun, and I would like to make it interactive, kind of like what I told you. Aunt and I are watching Married at First Sight, and we made a draft. Who makes it? We take bets as the episodes are airing and stuff. That would be so fun.
I just watched a clip on TikTok. I do not know if it's Married at First Sight. I'm assuming it is. I don't know if it's like the UK. But there's this one part, and I don't know if I guess it's this is what happens when you watch TikTok is like you get bits and pieces of things.
Yeah.
And the clip was a 3-parter. This blonde girl had been married at first sight to this dark-haired random dude. And he said she's not the body type that he normally goes for. And he was not there at the end. Do you know what I'm talking about? It must not be a season that you've watched.
Okay, I didn't get to it.
And she went off, and all the girls were like, yes, yeah. And I was like, I'm living for this. I need to watch this episode. I need to watch this season because I love her.
That happens a lot.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff he was saying, like, oh, she was jumping on me to like do things like on our first night. And she's like, he cuddled me. Okay. So much. You guys let me know what season and episode that is because I would actually like to watch it. Should I watch Married at First Sight from the beginning? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you we watched season, I think 14, whatever, New Orleans, which was great. So good. And then we watched the season after, which was Atlanta. And then we're like, I found this list of like the best seasons and where to watch. So like start with season 1, which is like the OG.
Oh yeah.
And it's New York.
Oh.
It's okay. I get why you're supposed to watch that one because it's the beginning, but yeah. I'm not loving that season.
Oh.
But that's okay. You can't beat New Orleans. Do you say New Orleans or New Orleans?
I say New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes someone a total Betty?
I love this question. You're a bad bitch. No. I think you're 30, flirty, and thriving.
Yes, that's a perfect way to put it. Hear me, I'm like, you're a nice person and you volunteer in your community and
I'm like, let's get as shallow as possible.
No, and you like teen dramas, obviously, and you are like community because that's what we are about, but I like that.
Yeah, we're open and accepting and everyone loves the same things and loves love, and there's no discrimination in what love is here. And we have a great community that are mostly, I'm assuming, millennials, that are mostly female, but hey to all your males. And you just love to have a good time watching your old TV shows.
Yeah.
You know?
Comforted by it, right?
I hope we are as comforting to you as the shows are to us.
Yes.
And you guys are comforting to us too.
Yes.
Next.
That
would have we should do a podcast about old MTV
but you know
reality
what?
shows.
I still want to cover Seventh Heaven
we should
bad.
do that.
One episode. Can we make that a bonus episode? Just one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pilot.
Fuck, marry, kill. Pizza, pasta, ice cream.
Okay, well, for me, ice cream's dead. I will fuck pizza and marry pasta.
Yeah, I have to have a controversy here. I would for sure marry pizza. There's no doubt in my mind I would marry pizza. I think I would fuck ice cream and I would kill pasta. Only because growing up, it was like I didn't really care that much about pasta, which now as an adult, I'm like, why didn't you eat so much pasta?
Well, I think the house you grew up in.
Well, much going on there. But we would obviously look forward to having pasta, but I remember it was like not something I was like, oh my God, I need to have. And of course, now as an adult, I'm like, I love pasta. Pasta is the best. Pasta is comforting. But I don't think I don't need it as much as I need pizza. And I like to dabble in a little ice cream here and there. So I would fuck that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question.
It is.
Okay. Who is your dream celebrity podcast guest? What would you ask them?
Any of the Spice Girls.
Yes!
Or any of the Queer Eye guys. Like Jonathan Van Ness would be like probably. I mean, he has his own podcast, so he'd be so natural at it anyway.
They're all so wonderful.
They're so wonderful. But I think there's a part of me like on the circle when they got to meet the Spice Girls. I was like, no, there is nothing I want more in my life to then that to be a goal as to meet the Spice Girls. The Spice Girls had an impact on us like you would not believe. Like these shows have impacted you, the Spice Girls impacted us. Okay?
Yeah.
And I think they're the true MVP and the queens of our generation.
I agree to all of that. Yeah. And I would ask them what kind of noodle they would be.
And I would ask them what kind of noodle they would be.
You know.
Yeah. And I would just want to hug them and I would just be happy just sitting on the couch and not even asking them anything.
I know. I know.
Like, I don't want to be invasive. I just want to know what noodle you are. And then let's just like gab and talk and cuddle.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I love that. I always said like we always talked about like the lines we'd wait on to meet who we would meet.
There's not many lines Michelle and I would wait on.
The Spice Girls.
The Spice Girls and the Queer Eye guys would line. Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for
sure.
And I think I said Michelle Obama too.
Oh,
I'd wait on that line.
Another perfect person to interview. Would you ever do a podcast with the Hubs? Michelle has done many podcasts with her husband.
Anthony and I started podcasting together. We had Brain Showers in 2009, and then we had Commercial Convo, which you were a guest on.
I was.
I love that podcast.
You were a guest on What's Your Fortune?
Oh yeah, Ann had his. Oh my God, Ann's podcast was so good.
It was good. It was a clever idea.
Yeah, and then you have it with Rand.
Yeah, Rand and I have Coffee Talkie. It's obviously we only have one episode. It's a Gilmore Girls rewatch podcast. I have seen it. Randy has not. I like to get Randy's 37-year-old male opinions on one of my favorite television shows of all time, and we dissect it. And then I listen to Scott's podcast, and I'm like, let's talk about this more.
Like, when's it coming?
I know. I'm sorry. We're planning to record our season 2 thoughts.
Yay!
So stay tuned.
It's like a year later.
Oh my God, it is like a year later. No, we started this New Year's Day. And then our first episode launched in like January or February. And then we haven't recorded since then.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But you started watching in October, right? Because y'all
Yeah, and then I rewatched it.
You know, it's almost Gilmore Girls.
It's Gilmore Girls season right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and also it's funny enough, I think it would be fun if obviously it would be a quad. But Randy was talking the other day about betting naturally. And he's like, I have a perfect idea. And I was like, what? And he's like, Anthony and I do a podcast called Total Betting. I was like, yes, fucking please. Can you do that? I will sponsor the shit out of that.
Yes.
So they just talk about sports betting, but it's called Total Betting.
I love that.
I was like, I will pitch this idea to Ant.
You know Ant's in.
I know.
You know 100% he's in.
I would love it.
Oh
And
my
I
God,
think you guys would like it. It would be good for the
begging.
demo.
It would be. And it could, not be so serious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like a different genre of what we're producing. Totally produced by Total Betty, but it's Total Betting. I love it.
Perfect.
It's so good.
That's amazing. I love that.
Copyrighted. Just kidding.
TM.
We're all TMs.
What are your day jobs?
Well, things. No, I'm just kidding. I work for an ophthalmologist. I've been doing that since 2009. Yeah. I work for a medical side. It's not an optometrist where, you get your glasses. We do the health of your eye, specializes in cataract surgery and LASIK, all those good things. And I do this for my passion.
Yeah. So this obviously
is the job.
And currently I am a caretaker.
You are.
For my aunt. Yeah. And that's
the mask is not having it.
Do you see this?
Sometimes I just pull it apart and then I keep it like on the sides. It's just, there you go. It's just so much easier to breathe that way. The lips. Mine's like filler.
I was gonna ask, is it drying off? Like mine is
Almost.
starting to peel. Mine is starting to peel.
Can you binge over and over the Twilight Saga and Friends and Gilmore Girls
and Gilmore? Yeah, I agree to that. Absolutely. Like Gilmore anytime.
At all times.
Friends anytime. Yeah.
Would you pick Frasier?
Yeah, I love Frasier.
I know you do.
I do. Put that in the same category. It's a comfort hug.
And I think I could probably watch Schitt's Creek over and over again and still feel like I watched it for the first time in a way.
The best.
And
I could do the OC, but it's different. Like Friends, the thing,
I feel like there's more of like how I am with Friends. Like, okay, I have to like sit down, like commit to the feelings.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't want to commit to the feelings.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what I was going to say. But the thing is, Friends, I could actually put on in the background. And I do that too. The OC, like I need to commit to the feelings.
I totally get it.
But Gilmore?
Gilmore, I have to commit to the feelings. I love Gilmore so much. I might watch that. I might put that on like a higher level than Friends at this point in my life because I feel like Gilmore just speaks to me on a different level. It's like so much more comforting than Friends.
It is.
And Friends is my favorite show.
Did you flying in my face
all over the place?
Did you see someone posted? It was a cute like, what are the best episodes of Gilmore Girls to watch in the fall?
Oh no!
I was like, I should just do that, like a Gilmore Girl fall.
There should be like episodes for each season, kind of like the 4 parts of each season. Like, you end with that season, maybe.
Yeah. Actually, the last episode to watch for fall is fall. But I'm not going to go there.
No.
Okay, what music are you into right now?
I've been listening to lots of podcasts. So, honestly, I mean, if you saw my stories, I've been redabbling into Taylor Swift. I really appreciate her as an artist. I find her music to be super poetic and makes you feel lots of things. And she is my age almost exactly. I mean, her birthday is December, I'm March, but I feel like I've watched her grow as a human. We've been through similar, obviously, I mean, everyone's been through breakups, right? I mean, Kanye West hasn't called me out on stage, but maybe one day, you never know. He's the flight risk. So I feel connected to her now that I am older and I appreciate her music and can go back to the beginning and be like, oh, I like this.
I love that.
Are you Harry Styles?
Well, always. Probably Goth Babe, Wet Leg, and Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys?
I love the Beach Boys.
Beach Boys that was a summer vibe.
Yeah, and my aunt, when we're in the car, I play that
loves.
for her.
Aww.
Beach Boys, Elvis,
yeah.
Temptations.
Love the Temptations.
Yes.
You're not going to see, are you going to see the Elvis movie? I'm a little interested, but also I'm like, it looks kind of sad.
I heard it's amazing.
I've heard it's amazing. Austin Butler.
Yeah.
You've arrived, honey.
Yeah. But probably not unless Seth makes me watch it.
Yeah. So maybe that would be one and you can let me know if you like it and then I'll watch it.
Yeah, maybe.
But I really want to watch Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yeah.
That's now available.
Yes.
Let's see if Randy wants to watch it. At the cusp. What shows were in the running before you chose Pretty Little Liars?
Fun.
Shall we reveal? I don't know, because we're
we
probably going to do this podcast in 7 years.
Let's not reveal.
No, we're not going to reveal. No, we're not going to reveal our sources, but it was one highly requested by y'all. It was very hard between this one and Pretty Little Liars. And eventually we will do this podcast.
Yes.
But I have to say, it is one that I have seen and Michelle hasn't, so we kind of have to fill the void a little bit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's to be determined. You'll know when we know.
That's right. But until then.
Mine looks like I have like a scar. Like I'm like, what's that? What's that movie? Oh my god, that show, The Phantom of the Opera.
Oh yeah, you do look like that.
True story, really quick. Michelle and I and her sister and my mom and my sister and her mom, we all went to see Phantom of the Opera. This was like, what, 2010, 2009, something like that.
Sure.
Michelle and I were not in like a good headspace to watch this show because everyone stood up, cried. Michelle and I just said, what was the point? But now in retrospect, I'm mad that I didn't enjoy it.
When I tell you,
the movie is so good. Have you ever seen the movie?
No. But I have no recollection of that play.
I remember just everyone standing up and them crying and looking at us and like, what is wrong with you two? You have no souls. And we're like, we just didn't know what happened. Like, we were so confused.
We actually did see that play.
We did, with the monkey, with the clapping monkey, and then the thing, the mask that comes down from the ceiling.
It's the chandelier comes down, right?
Yes, the chandelier. Thank you, chandelier.
I couldn't tell you anything about that story.
I mean, I know the story now because I've seen the movie, and the movie has like wrapped up so many things in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The show was so confusing to me. We were so confused. Everyone, like I said, was standing up. My sister, your sister, both of our moms crying, thinking it was clapping, beautiful thing, and we're standing. We're like, what the hell just happened? We had no idea.
Such assholes.
We're such assholes, and I apologize to whoever was on that night.
I know.
Because I mean, you guys got like the crowd went wild, just not Michelle and I. But now I'm sad about it.
And now I totally would have enjoyed something like that.
Me too. We just weren't like cultured or something.
No, it's not that. I think we were just in a different headspace.
We were in a different headspace. We weren't there for it.
No, I think there was a night that happened before we saw a play. What? No, but I think this is when we saw what's his face doing sit-ups in the aisle.
A chorus line.
Yeah. Mario Lopez.
Why you need to do sit-ups in the aisle?
In a chorus line, and we went and saw it, and then we would just look down, and in between
he was next to us doing his sit-ups.
Yeah, in the aisle.
Committed.
Yes, that's all you heard. Like, I'm trying to pay attention.
It was such a small theater, and we had pretty good seats, obviously, and he was doing his
all you hear is
sit-ups in there, and it was so interesting. That was a pretty good show. I mean,
I don't really remember it.
I remember the concept. It was like everyone trying out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I did not absorb a lot of things.
That's what I'm saying. So the absorption. To go back to it, don't at me if I don't remember certain things on a show.
Yeah.
Okay. Your dream travel spot.
Oh, Greece.
Is that your honeymoon spot?
No. I think we might go to St. Lucia.
Nice.
But I would love to go to Greece. I think Greece and like New Zealand are probably on like my top.
Yeah, I would love that.
And Bora Bora would be awesome. But
yeah.
Or the Maldives.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
For a hot second, we considered that. I'm like, hell no, we're not doing that for our honeymoon. I think we're going to do like St. Lucia. We're going to do like a sandals and like the Butler package.
And truly relax.
Good for you. Yeah. Because if I go to Greece, I'm going to want to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do that on my honeymoon. I just want to chill.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably like a 6-week long road trip. Because I love a road trip with Aunt. But I also would love to go to Greece or New Zealand or Hawaii. I would love to do.
Oh, yeah, same.
We'll see. Yeah.
Do you have any book/audiobook recommendations?
You know what?
I do not.
Let's look at my Goodreads.
But I hear if you're into fantasy, Randy reads a lot at the book itself on Instagram. If you're curious, he loves Joe Abercrombie anything, Brandon Sanderson anything. He loved, what was that? The Poppy Wars. He thought that series is great. He thought just thinking about all the books. He reads a lot of sci-fi and fantasy books.
Yeah. So usually only do audiobooks. Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which I feel like is old news by now, but it was so good. And The Seven Husbands of Evelyn
Oh yeah,
Hugo.
I heard that's amazing.
Really good
Brandy loved that
audiobook.
book.
Oh, he read that
Yeah,
too?
he really liked that book.
Yeah, that was really good. And then if you haven't and you like autobiographies, Open Book by Jessica Simpson was really good. Again, old
Mm.
news. I did that a while ago, but
Yeah, but
I've requested a lot of books. I'm just waiting for the books to be available at my library because
right.
that's
Well,
that's
because
what I
for
do.
free, you
Yeah.
don't pay.
Your favorite tea?
Does this mean like drama or?
Uh-uh.
I'm gonna do my favorite tea right now. Obviously, is the Don't Worry, Darling stuff. My favorite actual physical tea.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we both love a good peppermint. I I drink raspberry leaf, but that's not because I enjoy it. It's for my women's health.
I actually enjoy that
You
though.
enjoy it? I mean, it has like no flavor,
It's like
basically.
calming though.
Yeah. And I've been getting into more matcha.
Yes.
I'm trying to like matcha more.
Yeah, I love matcha. I've been doing dandelion root.
That's really good for inflammation
Yep.
and really good for acne.
Yep. It's very I love it.
It has
I'm
like
doing
that
that
has like
thing.
no flavor to me either. It tastes like just water.
Very
Like
subtle.
pasta water.
I guess I haven't really dabbled in pasta
Mm.
water in terms of drinking it. But I
Just
do
like
love
how
tea.
pasta water has like a smell. It
Yeah.
smells like starch and
Yeah.
gluten. You're like,
The
that's fine.
dandelion root, I could see where you're going with
Yeah.
that.
Ooh, crunchy cereal versus soggy cereal. Crunchy all the way.
Crunchy.
If it gets soggy, I have to add more cereal to it.
Right.
I love that perfect like bite of the crunchy with the milk, and then you can't let it sit for too long because then it gets the soggy. And I like every bite to be crunchy.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
used to love when Life cereal would get on the verge of being soggy,
Mm.
but too soggy, like you said, you got to add more cereal.
No, the texture just completely changes, and it's like not even appetizing anymore. If you like soggy cereal, please at me because I'm
I
confused.
feel
Are you
like
well?
that's just milk with pulp.
Oh, it's pulp milk. It's cereal milk, I guess, at that point.
Ew, but it's pulp.
But it's pulp of the
It's
cereal.
pulp milk. Pulp milk.
No.
Yeah.
True question. I know we've had this question before, but are you a pulp person in
No.
orange juice?
No.
I will take some pulp. I will not take like a whole shebang of pulp. I don't know why I thought shebang. But I like some pulp sometimes.
Nope.
But I'm not like a hard like path on it.
It gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, I don't mind
you're
it.
straining it.
I don't mind it.
What's your go-to Starbucks order?
My go-to Starbucks order, which I've had probably since it came out, is the chocolate cold brew with I guess it's chocolate foam cold brew. So it's basically as you hear chocolate foam they make with cold brew. Sometimes I get it with oat milk, sometimes I just get it without milk because the foam itself kind of just seeps into the coffee and it makes it lighter and sweeter. And I only get one pump vanilla because the foam has vanilla in it. And if you get one pump, it's not as sweet. But if you get more than one pump, she's too sweet for me. She's too sweet for me. But I love it. Like I have an obsession. Like I had the shaken brown sugar or whatever, that one. That was also really good. This is like taking the place. Michelle's basic. Here's her order. Mine is like crazy.
I am
Michelle's
a
is
basic, consistent Starbucks bitch grande cafe miso with almond milk extra hot.
She literally forever has been getting that.
That's it, right?
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Starbucks coffee.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, I actually would choose 7-Eleven. I'm not allowed to get 7-Eleven because Randy hates it.
Really?
He just thinks it's like, I don't know, in comparison, like not as strong as Starbucks. He likes a really dark coffee, which I like a bold coffee too. Like we only buy bold at home.
Yeah.
But I don't love Starbucks. Starbucks is bitter. Starbucks is sour. So I only get their cold brew these days. And that's why I've been choosing the chocolate cold foam because I only like the cold brew.
I love Starbucks blonde roast.
I used to. I don't like it anymore.
Really?
My taste buds have changed, I think.
Or mine
and
have
I
just adapted.
Hate Dunkin' Donuts.
Hate?
Sorry. I almost hate.
We
hate
chugged that shit in South Carolina.
I don't like it. Sorry, Mom. My mom loves Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I just never found their coffee to be appetizing, and it's always different. Starbucks, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it the same way every single time because they have like that certain recipe book thing. Unless for some reason you ask for a splash of oat milk and then the whole thing is cream. That's happened to me before at Starbucks. But
I
yeah,
found,
Dunkin'. Ooh,
yeah, I found with the Cafe Mistos, they put too much oat milk.
they do.
I'd rather at that point just give me a splash
Just
of
give
it.
a splash.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
know. I,
know.
I agree. I find that at Dunkin' Donuts, it's like so funny on TikTok. There's always like you look at the coffee, you know if you're gonna have a good or bad day when you go to the Dunkin' Donuts drive through because like you get the coffee and you're like, thanks so much. And they're like, shit, this is not like obviously the color that you like. You just
Yeah.
know by the color.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's way too light. You're like, am I drinking milk?
With a side
No.
of coffee.
It's a milk with side of coffee. And then sometimes I'd rather have it on the other side where it's not enough milk
Agreed.
because you can always add something else yourself, but
Yeah.
too much milk.
Yeah.
What's our last question?
Last
Look at how cool that
question.
looks. Looks like a little CD-ROM.
Yeah, it does.
Was there a convo about Michelle not changing her last name, or is it just something you'll never do?
Whoa.
Do you mean like in our business?
No,
Because
I
that's
think
been
she
her
think
last
in my
name.
personal life. That's such an interesting question. Like, who are you? Who knows my last name? I guess it says it at the end of every podcast,
Yeah.
right? No, I was never going to change my last name. I am the last Rubenstein. My dad passed away when I was 17 years old, and there are no sons. So it's just my sister and I. My sister hyphenated.
Yeah.
And I am a full-on, full-blown Rubenstein.
She's a Steen.
I asked Aunt to take my last name. He said no. I also said, could we make a new one like Ruby Cora? He wasn't into it.
I get it.
The other thing too is like, I feel I would like lose so much of my identity. Like Michelle Rubenstein, you know, around you just get it.
I get it.
And then Michelle Vicora is like straight up just sounds like an Italian, which is no problem with that, but that's just not me.
Right. No, I totally get that.
So yeah.
I will be changing my last name only because there are males, not in my family, but the Tenio name does live on.
Yeah.
And Randy has a nice neutral last name, as my grandma says, Daly. So I'll be Alyssa Daly.
It's
and
such a good
it's
name.
so much more professional sounding than Alyssa Tenio, the girl from Long Island, the Jew. That also sounds Italian.
Well, I wasn't going to go there. I think it's such a fun, short name.
Alyssa Daly is so much easier for me to say than Alyssa Tenio.
Yeah.
My own name doesn't even come off my tongue properly. I can't even imagine you guys saying it in your
Well, it's not hard to say.
It's not, but it just doesn't flow off my tongue.
Yeah.
Like Alyssa Daly sounds so much easier.
Yeah.
So I'll be excited.
Yeah, that's great.
See me in May 2023. I'll be Alyssa Daly.
So crazy. You'll always be Tenio to
I
me.
know.
But
and even in Randy's family, they all call me Tenio because another girlfriend is named Alyssa. So she's her last name and I'm Tenio.
Is she Liss? Though?
No, I'm more Liss. They have adapted calling me Liss, but sometimes they call her Liss and we're both like, what? So we just go, but now we go by last name.
Yeah.
Which is fun. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or sometimes like Randy's friends will call me Ill. And I'm like, that's a new one. I kind of dig.
Ill.
You're
ill.
Yeah, but literally everyone who knows me calls me Liss.
Yes.
It's just what it is. It's so much easier than me trying to explain how to say my name.
Yeah.
So just call me Liz.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Well, this was
fun. This was fun. This is a great, perfect amount of timed episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I still literally look like the Phantom of the Opera, and Michelle looks like Olaf with teeth. But this has been fun. We thank you all for submitting the questions. We might do this again someday soon, but check us out on Instagram at Total Betty Podcast Network. We also have a TikTok if that's cool for you to do. Some people aren't into it. That's fine. And we're also on YouTube. So hey to you guys on YouTube. And we'll be back at the end of October with Talking Texas Forever and We Are Liars.
That's right.
And stay tuned. We'll have a few more bonus episodes until then. So you'll hear us.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.